Nigerian Immigration Service is considered one of the top 5 revenue earners for the Nigerian government. Has it lived up to that billing? Are there those who say that it has not? There are those who say that it has not because of the long period of corruption in the big offices where the big decisions are taken, down to the passport offices where long-suffering Nigerians are made to go through sheer horror, and I can attest to that, before assessing such services. But more significant is the case of junior officers at their border posts who are reported to be collecting small amounts of money from thousands of illegal aliens who flock into the country on a daily basis. A lot of these elements end up boosting the ranks of terrorists operating in the northern fringes of Nigeria, while others engage in other activities detrimental to the lives and properties of Nigerians. Well, joining us now from our Rise Abuja studios to discuss the issue around this subject and a lot more is Daniel Makolo, an immigration lawyer and a former staff of Nigerian Immigration Service. Welcome to the program, sir. I'm really excited because you're a former staff. I want you to take us through. I want you to take us through the inner workings of the Nigerian Immigration Service. You know, because when you say, if you ask me, do I have anything to say that is good about the Nigerian Immigration Service? I've got lots of tales to tell, from passport collection, you know, from what even happens at the border post and the likes. It's just reflective of the Nigerian story. What do you have to say about this?
Hello, Daniel Makolo. Good morning. Are you with us?
I am.
Okay, Daniel. So like I asked before, I said, what do you have to say about all of this? You know, this very, can I use the word very, in quote, flowery words about the immigration service in this country. I can tell you for free, there's nothing flowery about their service and their conduct. What do you have to say about all of this?
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Nigerians. It's a pleasure to be on Arise News TV to shed light on my own little experience and few days on earth, and the 33 years of my active service in Nigerian Immigration Service until the unfortunate incidents that led to my dismissal, and we challenged it in court. We're waiting for the court verdict for the past 3-4 years. I wonder when it will come. That's the subject for another matter. Your question is simple. Nigerian Immigration Service has a lot of wonderful things. Some of us have committed our existence on earth to serving Nigeria in Nigerian Immigration Service. We were proud to come in. We are living today, and many of us have left. Many have died. I can tell you emphatically, and speaking from the bar, that 90% of us are not happy. This is not what we met, and this is not what we looked for, and this is not what we hope to leave behind. And that's why people like me raise a voice against the illegalities and wrongs in the system. Besides the wrongs, there are so many good things in immigration. There are very wonderful officers, there are very wonderful men who persevere and try to give in their best. But the system, Nigerian system in quote, and the selection of management over time had been nothing to write home about. And that's why some of us raise our voice and say, look, enough is enough. This is wrong. We can't continue on the wrong road and expect to get the right result. You know, that no matter how long you've gone into the desert on a wrong road, it is never too late to turn back. The ills in Nigeria today is, I had made a point sometimes ago, and it was published in this day newspaper, Sunday newspaper of September 7, 2014. Anybody can Google it. Immigration Act and Imperative of National Security, where I itemized and told the world. I wrote to the president, wrote to everybody. We are going into trouble. If we don't do anything quickly, something will do us as a nation. I have been shouting, and that was why I was eased out of the service maliciously with all the vendetta in the system, in the heart of the wicked ones within the system. This does not cut across the entire spectrum of the immigration officers. There are many wonderful immigration officers who believe they are very patriotic in Nigeria. But the system wherein the leadership of the service, people that are selected to lead the service in the last, immediately after the death of Mrs. Muizu, whose death, quote and unquote, remained suspicious and was never investigated. We are in the system. We know a little. We can't talk. It's left for the government who appointed her to have been concerned about what happened to her and the way she left. And thereafter, immigration has become a private enterprise for subsequent management teams that keep coming into immigration. It's at the management level that we have problem. One, the first management will come up, cut substantial part of immigration duties or statutory duties, and in the name of private partnership, set up shadow companies owned front by them, unveil the company, and you see the hands and the leg of the faces of those behind it. Every management, I repeat, every management, and I challenge anybody, not with the barrel of gun, because many of them are pointing their guns on my head. Let them come before your TV and we'll come up with documents where they are all conflict. From that time to date, every management comes in, cut part of the service functions, and give it out as private company, and they collect the money, and then it is only them and their proteges that are promoted by the board. I have written severally. I have gone to court severally on this. Why do we have to run down this beautiful country? Why must we all watch, fold our arms, and allow the few bad eggs in our midst to run down the system? Many of them never get trained. Many of them don't go to school. Many of them don't bother to develop. Many of them don't do anything. They get employed as personal assistant to the CG, get a special assistant, get PSO, and then get CG. None of them knows what officers are going through in the border, in the forest, where they live with harsh weather. Thousands of immigration officers are dying on respiratory challenges because of negative weather. The rules, the civil service rule provides for them warm clothing. Nobody is giving them. Apart from the late 80s, we never see warm clothing. You never see sweater. You never see raincoat. Officers are standing in the forest. I beg Nigerians who live around the border area to do video of officers they see in the border, whether they look like their sons and they're happy with them. No. In that situation, you can't get anything good from the officers if you don't care for them. Worse is Section 25 of the Constitution, which I have written severally on. Section 25 of the Constitution, if you have it there, reads simply, anybody who belongs to or belongs to a community indigenous to Nigeria is a Nigerian. And then who is an African that does not belong to, or that does not have a community that is indigenous in Nigeria? And in that process, you could see criminals standing at the border who jumped on the line and do whatever he wants to do, come to Nigeria, commit the atrocities, jump back, and you can't do anything. We keep writing about this. We keep telling the government, this country, we don't have any other place to call our own. Whether we like it or not, talk of all the things everybody is saying, fragment Nigeria, restructure Nigeria, we will still remain where we are. Americans will not come to occupy it over our heads. Mexicans will not come. It is you and I that will remain here. Whether as Nigeria or whatever it comes out to be, we will remain within this geographical location called Nigeria. And therefore, we must preserve it. And preserving it will be difficult for an average immigration officer.
Well, Daniel Makolo, I mean, you said
allowances will not be paid.
Makolo, you said you worked with the Nigeria Immigration Service for about 30 years, and then you were kicked
from 1987.
Okay.
From 1987 to date.
Okay, so, I mean, what are we dealing with here?
I do.
Is it sour grapes? Because I'm aware that you had written a petition previously to say that the tenure of the present Controller General of Immigration should not have been extended. And you've been very critical of him. So what are we dealing with? Is it sour grapes? Are you aware that the President of Nigeria has powers, in fact, to extend the tenure of any particular officer, and that any particular officer in charge of a ministry or an agency holds that position at the pleasure of the president? So why are you so critical of Babandede?
I'm not critical of Babandede. I'm critical of elongation of tenure of any public servant. This is your constitution. This is our constitution. There's nowhere here that the president has the power to extend the tenure of any civil servant, no matter how industrious or hardworking that officer is. None. Once you get into the service, I mean to say, there is statutory entry and exit lawfully. It's like the president, like somebody telling you that the president can extend his stay beyond 4 years. It's not possible. It's like telling you that every office has its own entry and exit strategies lawfully. The president, nobody, I repeat, and I challenge the Attorney General of the Federation to show the world where the president derives the power to extend the tenure of any public servant. Public service includes armed forces, police, immigration, everybody. It's not only Babandidi.
Yes,
nobody under our laws
is back with us.
Any statutory power to extend the tenure of any of the public service. Once you enter, there's entry, there's exit. It is, the civil service rules do not provide for extension. The prerogative, the mercy, the power of the president does not go into repeating or keeping the same person in the same position. Why would it is demoralizing. It affects the security. It affects the national bureaucracy. It affects everything. There's no power anywhere. I stand to be corrected if there's any. If there's any.
Thank you.
Somebody should show us.
Thank you. But you raised this important point about tenure elongation, and I want to link it to security, because all eyes are on the service chiefs and their tenure elongation, different positions on their performance. But let's talk about the role of the NIS with regards to national security and actually economic prosperity, and why it's so important.
Again, please.
Oh, so we're going to just take a short break now, and we'll be back shortly with Mr. Makolo. Please stay with us.
Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News Channel. Still with us in our Abuja studio is Daniel Makolo, an immigration lawyer and a former staff of the Nigerian Immigration Service. Daniel Makolo, are you with us there? Yes, good to have you back. You were responding to the question posed to you by Tondo. If you may just continue.
Okay. The question was, it is not only Babandede. The civil service procedure does not envisage extension of tenure unilaterally. It's arbitrary. It doesn't. And let's look at the law carefully. I wonder why it has not been challenged up to now. Nobody, by our laws, today as the laws are, have the power to extend the tenure of a civil servant who was employed to serve his 35 years or 60 years, as the case may be. Once that is over, it's over. You proceed on a proratorial leave. We've seen the presidents of the Court of Appeal, we've seen the Chief Justice of the Federation proceed on their retirement leave. It is a must. And even the circulars they have been issuing by the service said it's a must for you to proceed on your pre-retirement leave. So the president, with due respect to our president, our amiable president, I don't think, I've not seen it any of all the laws I've looked at where he has the power to extend the tenure of any civil servant.
I mean, I want to follow the line of questioning Dr. Abati started, that of, as regards sour grapes. You were there for 30 years, right, since 1987. And you said you had been you have been the whistle in the dark, you know, constantly blowing and saying,
yes,
there should be a lot more that should be done. Why did it take you until when they dismissed you before you left? Why didn't your personal integrity tell you to leave? Because if I'm somewhere and I think all is wrong, my personal integrity would tell me to leave. And what were the internal engagement I'm not saying writing in press, writing to the president. How did you try to change things from within? We've seen people that are lone voices that have been able, by point of reason, to bring others to their side and create societal change, lasting societal change. I'll give you an instance. There's a girl being celebrated now in Canada. The president of Canada, Trudeau, celebrated as a valedictorian. This lady was the only black student admitted to our university and a medical school then. But by constant advocacy, a lot of black students are coming to the university now. And Trudeau, the Prime Minister, celebrated this lady. So why can't you from within engineer this change?
Well, thank you for the question. I'll answer it simply. Yes, I stayed that long, not because the pressure was more than enough for me to leave. But there was a snag. At a point, because of my agitation and constant pushing, that no, things should be done the way it should be done, I was accused. A red flag was raised on me. National Security Advisor's Office, the DGSSS, the presidency, I was a subject of constant investigation. And the system put a toga on me. I'm facing disciplinary proceedings, which lasted for over 10, 15 years. And within that toga, I put up a paper to go. I won't be allowed to go until the investigation is concluded. And the investigation lasted, within the period, I was detained by the State Security Services for 21 days. We ended up in court, a judgment was given. And I pressured to be cleared that I'm not a security risk to the nation. I only want the best for the country. Until 2017, that I was issued a letter of clearance that, oh, all this while we have accused you, you didn't do anything wrong. And I demanded an apology. And that my rank, I'm still a level 12 officer. When Mohammed Babadede, who came in 1985 as a level 8 officer, and I came in 1987 as a level 7 officer, became a level 17 officer in 2012. And I now demanded, you forced me and made me serve under my juniors for over 10 or more years. And you now issue me a letter that, oh, notification of clearance. You don't give me just the clearance just like that. Restitute me and let me go. I was willing to leave. And when I applied to be allowed to go, I was told that in February 2017 at the management meeting, so, oh, he's still talking. We'll send him, we'll eliminate him and throw away his corpse and nothing will happen. This is Nigeria, we're in charge. And one member of the management team came back and told me, Makolo, run for your life. I said, where will I run to? I only demanded for my right. And there and then, there was a promotion interview 3 months later, which I went to attend. And they said I was facing disciplinary proceeding. He now said I should go to Maiduguri. My health was challenged under this pressure. And within a period, I couldn't go. And I asked, redeploy me. My hospital is National Hospital, Abuja, and I've been attended to here. Allowed me continue my treatment. They restitute me and let me go. He never replied the letter. So I didn't stay put because I am Superman, no. But the system knew. Go to Murtala Muhammed International Airport. Check for the security report in Murtala Muhammed Airport. In 2012, 2010, 2012, 2013, my records are there. I tried the best I can to differentiate use of writing, right thinking.
Before we go, I mean, I think that many of our viewers will be interested also in the service aspect, because the Nigeria Immigration Service is a service delivery agency. What are those things that you think should be done to upgrade service delivery, efficiency, and effectiveness at the Nigeria Immigration Service?
Let me put it simple. In 1963, the Immigration Service was created. It was created out of the crisis in Kano, in Fege, out of the white paper that came out in 1958. The white paper produced immigration as a department carved out of the police to specifically deal with foreigners coming to make trouble or create problem in Nigeria. The service was expanded in 1980 after the Metasini riot, and the Odangolo white paper is still there. These white papers are there. Go to the secretary to the federal government's library. You'll see the white paper. If we get back to Onagolo's white paper and implement it religiously for the benefit of this country, we will not be where we are with the security situation. Immigration is a core security agency that controls the influx and in and out of everybody, including you and I. And therefore, it should be serious that we go back to Major General Magoro's white paper that led to the creation of the board in 1988 or 89, 1988-89, that made immigration arm-bearing. If we go back to it, the same method of attack that Nigerians suffered in 1983-84 under the Metasini riot is the same method and the same area that the problem came from.
Can I just
the immigration was created,
Makolo?
and the board was created for studies.
Mr. Makolo, we don't have a lot of time. Can you answer in just 1 or 2 words? Olisagba Kogba SAN has posited that we should merge the Nigerian Customs Services and the Nigerian Immigration Services to make that more effective. What are your thoughts? Just in a few words.
My thought is this: stop all the PPP, all the private partnership programs that have been installed in immigration. The immigration officers are redundant. They are idle today. It's only a very few of them that are working. Give training to them. Go back to the white paper of Makolo's report. Implement it religiously, Nigeria will be better. Immigration service will be better. But as long as we allowed different managements to come in and introduce, even file movement in immigration is by PPP, paid. And we allow the ones who are engineering this thing to get promoted, to get lifted, to go up. Then garbage in, garbage out. So the only thing we can do is set up a judicial panel of inquiry, inquire into immigration between 1999 to date. How come immigration went this low?
Well, on that
and
note,
what can we do? We will come up with papers.
On that note, we've got to go. Thank you very much, Daniel Makolo, for joining us this morning on The Morning Show.